sale of the UTS shares. I think it's really important that I mention or give you some additional information on that, because lately I was made to understand through the media, nobody contacted me directly, that there are some concerns or some worries in the justice chain, especially at the border part of the justice chain, so immigration at the airports, you name it, the police officers. Somehow, somebody, somewhere, someday decided that they are going to put a false message out there stating that the payments that we have committed ourselves to on the back pay for police officers and everybody else in the justice chain will not take place. I just don't understand why people, wake up in the morning and think, okay, this is what I'm going to do, to stir up things. Totally unnecessary. And what I also find very disappointing, that those concerned in this case, that they rather seek the road of social media or the press to address their concerns instead of contacting the ministry. But I would like to explain what took place on the UTS sales to refresh one's memory. When the UTS sale was ongoing, and we concluded that through an initiative law in Parliament, that was the closing part of the whole trajectory that we went through, was that as the Minister of Finance, I stood up in Parliament and I said that part of the proceeds out of the sale will go towards back pay of within the justice chain. That is still the case. However, with the UTS sale, so far we have received half of the amount that we were supposed to receive, and that's an amount of $5 million and a little and some change, and the other half we are supposed to receive within 2 to 3 months. What happened is that when we formalized or finalized the law, in the law it says that the sale of the UTS shares should go for a minimum price. And all of a sudden, the legal counsels of the buyer saw it fit to have their concerns about the wording minimum price. Now, on the minimum price, you cannot expect from any parliament to give a minister carte blanche to sell the country's assets without knowing what the minimum price is. That's why that was amended within that initiative law. I myself contacted the buyer through their legal counsel to ask them what is the minimum price. That minimum price was mentioned in the law, and for safety's sake, or to be sure, I even raised that amount with 1 million. You can never be sure enough. But still, the same lawyers that gave us the minimum price now saw it fit to have an issue with the wording minimum price. Anyway, that is a problem that arose, and in the meantime, in discussions with the lawyers of the buyer, we reached consensus of a textual change to the initiative law. That textual change, and the textual change is there to further elucidate what is meant by minimum price, was yesterday approved in the Council of Ministers, and it's being prepared to be sent up to the governor to send it onwards to the Council of Advice. So as soon as we get that back from the Council of Advice, I hope they can look at it urgently. Then it will come back to us. to the Council of Ministers to finalize that. Once we have finalized that in the Council of Ministers, it will go to Parliament for handling, and I expect that can be done very soon. Once that has been done, we can inform the buyer's legal counsel, and they will then should agree because we have consensus on it, and then we can receive the additional monies.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require is life, God has given me. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. 'Cause I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. 'Cause I know who I am. I'm walking in power. I'm working miracles. I live a life of favor. 'Cause I know
Harmonics is a band that is now in existence for, let me see, maybe about 26, 27 years. And it consists of vocalists and musicians. We have 2 keyboardists, we have a guitar player, we have a bass guitar player. We also have a percussionist as well as a drummer.
we are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know
Well,
who I am. I know
The theme says it all, praising in harmony. And this is our 2nd year, so it's called Praising in Harmony, the sequel. And it's all about praising God and winning souls for Christ. Different than last year, of course, we have more songs. We decided to go all out. We also have different dancers because last year we had about 2 groups. Now we have 3, so we decided to beef it up a bit. And also we chose different guest artists. So we thought, let's go all out be versatile with it. But all in all, the difference as well is, of course, how we are presenting it. That's the difference. And we are praying as well that we will have more people coming than last year. We have the young at heart. And the youngest is Takia Dixon. She's the youngest in our group. And then we have Mayanka Johnson, who is in between the youngest. We call her a young adult. And then comes me. And then we have Jasmine. And then we have Lorraine. Those are more the older ones. Not too old, but as I said, young at heart. And then we have Benson, who is one of the seniors. We can call him a senior, sorry. One of the seniors. Then we have Dennis also. And then we have Hilda Martina, who's as well one of the older ones. And then we have Toby. We have Shaba and Mark. So you have the young, not so in between, and then you have the ones that are veterans. Started practicing, I think it was in ending August, September. And it is hectic because all of us have our different jobs that we're doing. Some not, some are very much retired. But it's still tough because we all have our thing doing. And then, of course, have the strength and the endurance to come to practice. But it's going well. It's going well. It's been a while since we ourselves, the Harmonics, had a concert of this magnitude. A lot of years ago, when I was still, I think, a teenager. Then we used to have a lot of concerts, and we thought, it's about time that we do it again. And I think people needed this type of concert because you usually see more concerts or gospel concerts from international artists. But then we thought, no, our very own can do the same, of that magnitude. So we said, let's get it back in order and show them that the local talent, gospel artists can do it as well. I don't see it any different because I guess the building is more bigger, and then the people are more closer to you. And then with a concert now, you have this big audience. You can't see everybody either. And yeah, for me, that's the biggest difference, the audience, the closeness of the people. Harmonics Band, Praising in Harmony, the sequel, will be on November 2nd, Saturday, November 2nd, 2019. And the tickets will cost you only $20 or 36 guilders. And at the door, children pay $10. And as well, let me see where you can get all these tickets. Let me see if I remember everything. All right. Family Bookstore, Adolphus Richardson, Big D's, Van Dorp Edine, the Methodist Church office, as well as all the band members and also members of the Methodist Church as well. We'll be having it at Port de Plaisance, the pavilion, under the tent.
We would like you to sing along if you know the song. I have lived a life of sin to this world I'm living in.
Please do come out. I mean, last year people bragged about it. They talked about how blessed they were, and some missed out and they felt so bad. So for you not to feel bad this year, please come out and praise God with us. Praise God with us, because that is what it is. Giving God thanks for letting us see another year. We've been through some tough times, and I think this is the time for us to really lift up God's name and, of course, come together as one, because it's not just about the Methodist people, but it's about all Christians on St. Martin, as well as those who we want also to win souls for Christ.
Do you hear the voices sing? They'll
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, I would like to propose the following sequence for this meeting. First, I would like to answer the questions from the second round of the adjourned public meeting of May 23rd, 2019. These answers were sent to Parliament on October 19th, 2019, together with 6 attachments. Secondly, I would like to respond to the memorandum of the General Audit Chamber. Some members of the work group have met with representatives of the Chamber, and they've conducted further investigations. And several of the attachments that have been sent to Parliament relate to this topic. Thirdly, one of the members in the support group this afternoon, Mr. Lawrence Kaysen from Curaçao, who is the actuary of the work group, he is prepared to give a presentation on the draft law. And fourthly, after that, we will hear if the members of Parliament have any new questions. With your approval, Mr. Chair, I would like to begin with answering the questions of the honourable MPs from the previous meeting.
Please proceed, Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I start first with questions that were posed by Member of Parliament, Mr. Bryson. APS invests in several projects whereby the rainforest was one. The members of Parliament would like to know how much they invested and how much did they receive back. Do not want a percentage, but how much was deposited on their account? So the question is, how much money did APS receive after their investment in the rainforest? APS has received revenue from its investment in Rainforest Adventures. However, due to the nature of the agreement between borrower and lender, APS cannot share the details of this agreement publicly. The Rainforest Adventures corporate loan has a return on investment of 8% and is currently the second highest return on investment within the APS local portfolio. The loan will be fully repaid on June 30th, 2030, and APS can confirm that Rainforest Adventures has been acting according to the agreements made with APS. The question by Member of Parliament Doran. No clarity given on how the union agreed, whether it was via email during a meeting. That is unclear. How did the union agree to make it optional to go on pension between 62 and age 65? The option to retire as of age 62 is taken up in the pension covenant. All 4 union presidents have signed that covenant. The GOA acknowledged they agreed, and the present CCSU, Commissie Civil Servants Union, has agreed to the final text of the draft national ordinance that we are debating today here in the Central Committee. This letter is complemented with several attachments. The first one gives an insight on how the working group, which included 4 representatives of the unions, operated, how meetings were held, how decisions were made, etc. The complex subject was first divided into separate elements. Nearly all decisions were unanimous in the working group. When the working group reached consensus about all of the elements, the covenant was drafted and presented to the boards of the 4 unions and the GOA. The GOA, which is the Georganiseerd Overleg in Ambtenaren Zaken, agreed and signed a document stating so. Then, the 4 presidents of the 4 participating unions, the Minister of General Affairs and the Minister of Finance, as well as APS, all agreed and signed the covenant. Another question by MP Duran. Can I have the comprehensive policy plan for workers ages 62 to 65? There is not a policy plan yet. During the discussions regarding the disability pension, it became clear that none of the stakeholders were happy with the present setup regarding sick leave and disability. And so it was agreed then that the stakeholders would start a new round of talks on this subject. The objective is to come with a broader approach to the subject, including the type of work, health, age, retraining, reassignment, readjusted work, etc. These talks have not yet started. A new working group will be established to deal with the other remaining elements pertaining to the pension and this subject. This will be done after finalization of this legislation.
I would like to start off to mention that the Department of Romy Infrastructure hereby announces the following schedule for road patching works in the different districts. They would like to start with the Point Blanche area as of Monday, October 21st. Phillipsburg, DV area on Tuesday, October 22nd, heading on to Simpson Bay on Thursday, October 24th. Airport Road, Ryan Road on Friday, October 25th. The road patch works will be carried out by the Windward Roads NV. The department requests the public to take notice and caution of these works. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all who came out last week Thursday to the cleanup campaign meeting with the NGOs and all other stakeholders. I believe we had about 50 people in attendance, and that, to my knowledge, is just a tip of the iceberg. So that's good news, and everybody had an opportunity to network amongst each other and to build up the different networks and socialize and able to move forward even beyond government. The cleanup campaign officially launches on November 1st. And I would also like to mention that the slogan contest is still ongoing until October 28th. So please send your suggestions to vromysxm@gmail.com. So far, we have received numerous emails, but of course, the more emails we get and more suggestions, the better for everyone. Also like to take mention that in the weeks coming, we should start to see some works being done with the traffic lights on St. Martin. A lot of people have asked what's the status, and they have been waiting. The parts have been ordered, so they should be coming in the next few weeks, and then the work should commence.